Hi, thanks for joining me again, Mr. Whitney here. I am going to be doing this is so funny, and I just realized I didn't bring it. If you have me as a teacher, you'll end up seeing I end up drawing stuff. I'll draw over the weekends or after school hours, and I'll share drawings with my students, and then they will come back, and it's always days later. And Mr. Whitney, will you show us how you do that? And I'll go through, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that. And remind me of doing it on Friday. Well, Friday's usually the day we can get away doing it. Remind me if we have time, and then forget about it. Forget about it. Well, this is one that I kept forgetting about. And I put post-it note up and promised my students before they came back in the classroom, oh, I'll do a video on that. Well, they come back in the classroom this next Monday, so I've got my recording today, and I've got to get to it. So this is just a little cityscape kind of thing or a townscape, and what it is layers. And what I go through and do is we're going to have buildings, and the first thing I need to do is I need to have some slopes for some buildings. So I just go through and I draw curves, and you can just draw. I suggest drawing 2 to 3 curves, and I'm doing this the long way on the paper. So I've got in here on there. So then I go through with this in it, and I'm drawing with pencil. I want you to see that I'm doing with pencil. This is a heavy erase kind of drawing. So trying not to draw hard is also a hard thing for me, and it's okay if you end up drawing hard. You can do it. So cityscapes going through here or townscapes. I'm going to start with a town. We're going to start off in the country because it's an easier one for me to do. So in the country, I've got here, there's going to be a house. It's going to be one house right here. And I draw my house probably like most of you do. I got my little house with a door and put the doorknob on it. And I don't like the doorknob. So there we go. First thing I'm erasing on there. And of course, it's showing up on the screen perfectly clear. So no doorknob here. I'm going to cover that up here. Get a doorknob out of the way. And then my windows into here. And however you want to draw your windows, you can do your windows pretty fancy. You can put some shutters on them if you want to, or just have them plain. I'm going to do some shutters because I'm showing off since I'm recording a video with kids here learning how to draw. So I've got the shutters on the door. Boy, that doorknob is going to be unforgiving. So this door is going to have a window on it. Do you have that doorknob covered up? There we go. See, I covered it up. I've got some windows here. And then I'm going to put the roof line up like this. I'm kind of curving that roof, which is fine. I'll put a chimney on this place. And I like to go through and add the details of the chimney. So drawing these lines down, and I go back and forth. Something I've been doing since I was in third grade myself, to be honest. Going through, then this is going to need a window up here to balance it off because I really want it to have a window. Put those shutters on there again. So this house, it's got that window with the shutters. Any way you draw a house is perfectly fine. And this is how I start off. So I said I was going to do countryscape. I'm going through here. I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab a different pencil here. I got one house here. I want to have another house right here. Put a house here. And what's nice about this, notice those walls are curved. I like to have fun when I'm drawing my house. So this house is going to have this kind of theme to it. It's curved. I'm going to put the doorknob in again, even though the doorknob wasn't a good idea the first time to do. Then I'm going to go through, and this is kind of they're going to have these long windows in this house because I want to have this house just a little different kind of thing. And if you're like me, I'm imagining, I'm like, well, what's it like? They go in this little door and these windows go all the way up. How would the house be? That's okay. Have fun with it. That's all that matters here. I'm going to put a nice tall window here because that's the theme of this house. Not perfect. Totally fine. Think Dr. Seuss. I'm going to connect these walls right here. I'm going to put a little rounded window right here, a little rounded window right here. Again, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. Have fun drawing them in. Then I'm going to take, and this roof's going to go more teetered down like this, more straight. I'm going to continue to just draw in here and talk with you, and I encourage you just have fun, whatever comes to mind. I've got big open space down here. Something I love to do with my big open space is I take this little squiggle in. I like to put in a little bit of water. Okay, there's my water area. I can shade this in, and then I like to go through and do these little cattails going through, and I put these little things on it. I grew up here in Marysville, between Marysville and Everett, and even going from Lake Stevens into Everett, there's those cattails. So they're kind of fun to go through and draw. And it's just a squiggle, these things on top. And I take and I'll put a cluster of them. So I got cattails. So this is like my little park. And my park's always down in the bottom corner. It's a total predictable kind of thing with my drawing, and where we feel comfortable. And it's okay if you want to put your park up here, whatever else this little setting, until I find. So I'm going to get these in here. And then I want to go through and I want to have that rippleness of the water. So I'm going to just go through and I just keep drawing this repeated kind of thing in there. So get the rippleness of the water in there. Every now and then I'll draw on a park bench here. So here's a park bench of some sort. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just having fun into doing that. One thing I love is Ed Emberley's Learn to Draw or Make a World. I'm going to pause on this. I'm going to walk over here across the room. Hopefully I got book. Yeah. So Ed Emberley's Make a World is really where this comes from in taking it. So one of my favorite books I have, this is my copy for my students. It's one of my favorite things to have. I've got a copy at home. Here's my copy for me that's in my classroom. So mine looks a little bit different. There's two different ways of it. This is usually under $5 on Amazon. Really fun. You can get it to the library. There's different versions of it. So the Make a World, I love. You've got all these little things you can do, these mini things. So just flipping here. Here's an office chair. Here's animals. You can go through it too. And so just want to share this with you. I could spend days and days and days. Matter of fact, I would probably shoot a video with using this book because it's one of my most favorites to go through. That's where this kind of drawing comes from. And again, taking it, making it whimsical. So I got this park in here, got a house here, got a house here. I can go through, I can do a house in the background here, just smaller kind of house, not even having to have much details to it. Here we go. On those windows and stuff like that. This house is going to have a little chimney on its roof going through, and you can take and put a little smoke if you want to do it out. I usually don't because I think it takes away, but it's all up to you. I can even in here, if I want to add in, I can put a house. Put a house right here, a little ground. This house is going to have some twin roofs like that, so this is a little different kind of house, and it's going to have two doors, more like a duplex kind of thing, I guess is what I've got going here. Yeah, so go through, put two windows here. It's a little twin house in here, duplex. Perfectly fine. And just having fun with this drawing, taking it in there. I can take a path out from this house and draw a path down if I want to. Anything you want to do, there's no rules. I like throwing in trees. I got these kind of trees I do. These are fun ones. This is another fun tree right here. I'm going to throw these trees in the background here. Just little squiggle things, and not too much. An artist once told me light is better. So I just take and I get those down, and then I get the stem, and then I can go through and I can throw, and I'm doing this with a little lighter right behind. So it's just these little squiggle triangles. Another way you could do tree, triangle, very triangle, very triangle. Again, don't hesitate on trying this out and making a mess. I went from a drawing, I went over and grabbed the Ed Emberley book. I've added things in here. This is exactly how I draw these every time. This was going to be a nice little country scene originally in my head. And then I got drawn with it. I'm like, oh, I want to show you this. I want to show you that. Taking it simple, more details. My pencil is not sharpened today. I'm noticing that that's guiding my drawing and taking through. Can add in some more trees in here, and I could go sharpen a pencil. But again, I'm on this clock with you, timing down a video. So there's that right in there with it. I'm going to flip the page. I'm going to show you grab a sharper pencil here. Again, grabbing a pencil. I'm going to show you using the same kind of thing, and I'm just going to draw a little cityscape here. So again, this time my heels are going to be a little more gradualized, like this, a little more gradual, like going through here. Only going to do two because I have got buildings. My buildings are going to come in right here. So I'm planning a building right here. I'm planning a building right here. I am planning a building that's going off the page up there by that building. So I see this right in here. It's going off the page. I've got another building that's going to be right here. That's going to go right up to the page, a little space in between. Then I've got a building I'm going to want to put right here. That's going to cover up those buildings. Thus where the erasing comes in. So I'm going to erase. Erase that out. That building's going to cover up. Again, I still like to have my park. This is going to be a park again. If it works for you, stick with it. A couple of different ways of doing a building. I go through and I can line off for the windows. So I'm just going through and I'm lining off like stripes. What I'm going to do with those stripes is then fill them in. So then I'm going to bar this off for having my windows in here on this building like such. Gives a whole building look to it, just like such. So this build, oops, sorry, getting into there. When I was a kid, I'd be concerned, oh, what's this going to be right in here? Is this a lower entrance? How would the entrance be? And I can draw, you can draw in some steps if you want in here, so that people can walk and not have to walk in a slope. Totally fine right there, into there, having fun with it. Another way I could draw my building is putting in individual windows. I could start, here we go, into steps right now. Here's a step up. Here's some double doors into this building. There's some windows right here that are going to go like this, maybe like some display, like for a shopping center. Then I'm going to have windows that are going to go like this across. All right. Notice I went to the edge of the building. I'm going to commit to that. This building's going to go through, and those windows are all going to go on the edge like that. And then they're going to go back through. Third graders and up, you guys know working with arrays. So this is an array right in here. Doing that building into there. Getting the layers. So I got the building here in the background. The other way, this was one of my favorites when I was a kid. So I'm going to just go through and take and section this off like that. You can go through and you can block in windows. So I'm going to block in right here. These are going to be windows. Block in windows right here. Block in some windows right here. Bottom floor, we'll block in. The entrance is going to be right here. So I'm going to put this right here. Drawing. And there's a door. I'm going to make that line darker to where it shows in. Then these windows, you can go through and just do these light little lines to show that they're in. You can color them in all the way. Any way you want to do it depending on mood. So I'm just doing these little lines so you can see that reflection on the window. Here we go, a little reflection on the window. You could even draw in the window what you want to end up doing here. There's one building. Then I got this building that's back here that's going all the way up. So I'm going to draw this building right here. This line, make sure I define this building. So this building's going to go through. This one's going to have, let's see here, what do I want to do for the entrance here? I'm going to put a set of doors here and then a set of doors here. For some reason, it's just got two sets of doors in. That's all I'm going to do on it. Then this building, I'm going to take and I'm going to block in. I'm going to stripe all these lines up here just like this. Define this building here. And then I'm going to take and I'm just going to square in all of this. See how I'm doing this looks like this. So this whole building, and if you've been anywhere in any city or something, you've seen buildings where it's just all glass. So that building's all glass windows up there. And I'm just going to go right down here and just do this. There's a glimmer going across, just real light across there so you can see the shimmer. And that's all there is to it. Again, adding the details, this is going to have a path that's going to go along it. So I'm going to run this path like this, that there's going to be, and I can go through and draw people. And I draw these real fancy people, as you can see, little stick people. So I can go through and I can draw these little fancy stick people. Super, super fancy. If you guys need me to do a lesson on it, please let me know. I'll record a lesson so you can have those stick people. These guys are walking here together. I mean, really, this guy's got a dog. Another fancy dog, little stick dog here. Going through with this stick leash into there. And I don't have room for a pond, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to just draw these little squiggles, which shows grass. Lawn's not being kept up and mowed. Grass alongside here and keep doing it. I can go on and on and on with this. Again, sometimes I go through and I'll make straight lines going back and forth. Have fun with this. This is a lot of fun when you don't know what to draw, when you just want to draw. I've still got a building back here I could do. I can add in details. I'll go through and I'm like, oh, I want to have a movie theater because I just went to the movies. Oh, I need to have a grocery store. I went down to Chinatown one time with friends and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to try and do Chinatown looking buildings, which was kind of fun to do, just seeing things. So have fun with this and enjoy it. I look forward to seeing your drawings and happy drawing.